Recording started.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so now we have the parameter file also. So we have the instance over here, and I'll start up the instance on no mount with the P file which we have in the temp directory and which we have modified. Let me check if I have saved it. Okay, I've saved it. Okay, and okay, so here we have some. I don't know where I'm going wrong over here. Let me check. The ADAM parameter to ORCLSTBY. So the SID should be ORCL. Sorry, what should be the standby location? I did not get. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure what's gone wrong over here. No, it won't work. I'll just reboot the standby. So this is actually the Oracle standby parameter file, which it should look like. Yes, the mistakes which I did was I did not change the audio file destination to STBY over here. And yes, the listener ORPL STBY also was not changed. Apart from that, yes, even this was not changed. I hope the IP has not changed. Okay. I'll just once again verify the P file, which I should have done it before itself. Okay, so here, okay, so now we are good to go. Okay, so here we have the standby database up. I'll just create a SP file from the P file over here. Okay, so now we here have the standby database up, but now we will be creating the standby database from the primary database using the arm duplication utility. So I'll go to the primary. I'll connect to RMAN. Using the auxiliary standby database over here. Okay, spelling mistake. Okay, so now we have the target database over here, which is the primary, and the auxiliary database, which is the standby database, and it's in not mounted state. So now we'll be issuing the duplicate command. Okay, so now we are using the duplicate command to duplicate the target database, which is nothing but the primary to the standby. And we can also use a parallel duplication over here to improve the performance if it's a production database and the database is huge. You can allocate channel and you can then duplicate the database. So that will be much quicker. Since here it's just a small database, I did not use the parallelism over here. So it will take a couple of minutes over here to do this duplication from primary to standby. Okay, so now we have the finished duplicate prompt from the RMN, so we can see that the duplication is successfully done over here. And at this point, we will go to the standby and we will do a flashback on. Okay, so now we have the standby database ready over here, and now we can do the redo log apply on the standby. We can straight away start it. So here, starting and stopping the redo apply on the standby is very easy. The Oracle Dataguard provides the ability for the standby to apply the redo itself. So to start the redo apply, we will issue this command: alter database, recur manage standby database using current log file, disconnect from session. This starts the recovery process using the standby log file that the primary is writing the redo to. It will also tell the standby to return you to the SQL command line once the command is completed. So if you want to stop the recovery, you have to do a database cancel, that alter database requirement standby cancel. So here we will be first applying the redo. So here you can also verify your destinations, whether they are valid or not. I'll just show you a small command. and also will display the error if there is any error. Since we have only two destinations over here, I'll say less than or equal to 2. So here we see the destination 1 is valid and the first destination is use DB recovery, and the second destination, which is nothing but the primary. So we can just check this on the primary database as well. Not sure why it's not getting copied. Okay, so here we have both valid and the ORCL STBY, which is nothing but the standby. So both the destinations are valid on both the servers over here. So now we will see if the redo is actually being applied. So from the primary server, this is the primary server, we'll be checking whether the archive, the redo is being applied on these channels. So select sequence number, and next time, slide, archive. So it's archived log. Okay, so here we can see the sequence number 5 and 6, which is applied, and the rest are not applied yet. We will just check whether the gap status is having no gap, or we are having some error in the gap. We will just check that. So here we can see there is no gap between the redo apply. So since it's returning valid and no gap, everything is okay. If you want to just play around with this, see how the PAL server works, you can just shut down your standby database, switch out several logs. You can just wait for some time and then bring back the standby up and then switch another log. You should soon see a gap appear over here because since the standby database will be down and the log will not be transported and it won't be applied over there. We also have a view which is Dataguard status. We can quickly query that. So here we'll be getting all the details about the Dataguard status, what all logs are being transported and what are all being done over here. Like you can see the standby redo for log file selected for thread 1, sequence 7. So this view you can get all the details. See here there was an error since the database was brought up and the heartbeat was not there, it was not getting connected to the standby. So here we can see the archive logs are being applied over there. You can just check for the data. Suppose if you are creating a table over here, if it is getting transported over there. So if you just create a sample table over here, I will just create table ABC, a small table. Okay, so here I created a table ABC, and I will just want to check whether this ABC is come to standby or not, just to verify whether it's working. I'll just do a couple of log switches over there. And now I'll change the standby database role to read only. So we will have to just stop the manage recovery. So here, okay, so here I'll just open the database as read only. I have cancelled it. Okay, so now here we have the table ABC which was created over there, and it's still it's come to the standby database. So now we have the Dataguard setup in place, and now we'll be seeing the role transition over here. We have role transition which is like the databases can be in mutually exclusive mode only. There will be a primary database and standby database. So each of them cannot be in primary and primary or standby and standby. So one has to be in primary and the other has to be in standby mode. In case of failover, the standby is when the primary is down, we can directly bring up the standby database as the primary database, and then after the primary location is up and running, we have to recover the database and bring it back as standby, or we can switch the roles again over there. So here, I'll just walk through. Walk through the Dataguard protection mode over here. We have Dataguard protection mode maximum availability, we have the maximum performance, and we have the maximum protection. So these are the three protection modes over here, and this protection mode serve for different purposes, and the default protection mode is being maximum performance mode. So what exactly is a switchover? Switchover allows the primary database to switch roles with one of its standby database. There can be more than one standby databases also. And there is no data loss during a switchover. After a switchover, each database continues to participate in the Dataguard configuration with its new roles. So suppose if you have a primary and standby, and once the roles are changed, the primary will become a standby and the standby becomes a primary database. So I'll just walk through the switchover process over here. Since I open the database over here, I'll just change its okay, it's the physical standby. So switchover, a Dataguard configuration consists of one database that functions in the primary role and one or more databases that can function in the standby role, as I said before. The number, the location and type of database in the Dataguard configuration, and the way in which redo data from primary database is propagated to each standby database determines the role management options available to us. So here, like suppose if you want to do a primary database outage, you can just switch the roles. So I'll just walk over through a switchover process over here. So switchover allows the primary database to switch the roles with one of its standby database. But here we just have one primary and one standby database. So there is no data loss during a switchover actually, because we are doing it manually. And after switchover, each database continues to participate in the Dataguard configuration with its new role. So now we'll be performing a switchover. So at this stage, we will be ready to do a switchover, but we'll just do a few checks you should perform before you start. So first, we should just verify there are no redo gaps, like querying the primary using the same command which we had run over here. Okay, so here we don't have any gaps. So if you get in a production environment, you don't always get a no gap. If you are just lucky enough, you will be getting no gap. Or if suppose there was a network issue or something as such, then you might get error or you might get a resolvable gap. as the gap status. So in that case, you can always query the Dataguard status to check the severity. You can get the message and the timestamp and the error code from that view. So like suppose if you had any error over here, you can just query severity, the message, the timestamp when the error occurred, the error code from the status where the destination ID is. So these were the errors which I had got before. There was a heartbeat failure between the primary and the standby. So these were before, not now. So now we will do a switchover. Before doing the switchover on the standby, we will check the switchover status. So here it says 2 standby. So if we have 2 standby or sessions active, then we are ready. So we can switch the primary to the standby role. So here what I'll do is I'll just run a command saying alter database, commit to switch over to physical standby with session shutdown. So this will take a couple of minutes to execute. Okay, so now we have executed this command. We can shut this database immediately, and we can mount this database. So we'll just keep this database in a mounted state. So here we are executing this command on a primary database. Now we are switching this role from primary to standby over here. So now we'll go to standby. So here the switchover pending. So let me check. So if we see 2 primary or sessions active, then we are ready to switch this database to primary. But if you see a switchover latent or switchover pending, then we have to check the alert log for issues. Usually, it just needs to apply some redo, so that will be the case it is showing over here, switchover pending. So let me wait for a couple of minutes. Or you can always go to the alert log and check for issues. Here, I believe it's just for applying some of the redo here. So it's still applying the redo. Okay, there's some error over here. Encountered error. Okay. So there is some error over here. Okay, but we are getting the switchover status to primary. Okay, so now our standby is primary, and our primary has become a physical standby. We can also, okay, I have not started applying the redo logs over here. Okay, so here I have started applying the redo logs also. Okay, so now we have the role transition. Now the primary is the database, the primary database is standby over here, the physical standby, and the standby is now primary database. So this was a switch over. I think we have already passed 12:30 over here. So I'll be skipping this failover topic for the day. I'll be next time coming up with a Dataguard broker maybe, and I'll be doing the failover session during that time. Yes, it will be, because the no logging option will be over since we have done a force logging over here. So it will be created in the standby. So I'll be ending the session over. We'll be having a question and answer session. Jacqueline?
Thank you, Dinesh.
Yeah, thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you very much, Dinesh. Thank you, participants. We will now begin the Q&A interactive session. Participants who would like to ask questions, please press #12. On pressing #12, participants will get a chance to present their question on a first-in-line basis. To ask questions, please press #12 now.
Dilip Kumar, the question which you have asked over here, I'm not very pretty sure about the direct path read over here, but what I think is it should be reflected in the standby. I'll just note down this question. I'll get back to you. You can get back to me on my email address, dinesh.nadar@wipro.com. So I'll be replying your question over there.
Raj Kiran, your line is unmuted. You can go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi Dinesh.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'd like to ask you one question that can you have not give the brief description about that protection mode and performance mode that
you mean to explain what happens over during that scenario, or you want me to explain what exactly is going on during that protection mode?
Yeah, the protection mode. Yeah, exactly what is happening in protection mode, availability mode, and the default performance mode.
Okay. Since we have three protection modes over here: maximum availability, maximum performance, and maximum protection. At the maximum performance, which is the default protection mode, and it provides the highest level of data protection without affecting the performance of the primary database. Here in maximum performance, all the transactions are committed as soon as the redo data is generated by those transactions, and it has been written on the online log. So unless and until it's written on the online log, it's not getting committed over there. So this happens in the maximum performance mode over here.
Okay.
Okay, and the redo data is also written to one or more standby database, but it's done asynchronously with respect to the transaction commitment only. So here the primary database performance is unaffected by delays in writing a redo to the standby database. It's just written to the redo log or the online log, and your performance once your database goes on with the normal routine activity or the routine working it's like. That's the maximum performance. But in maximum availability, the protection mode here provides the highest level of data protection over here. So that is possible without compromising the availability of the primary database. So here the transactions do not commit until all the redo data needed to recover those transactions has been returned to the online redo log and to the standby redo log, and it is done synchronously. So you saw that we are doing this, the log archive destination 2 over here. So here we have used the async parameter for the network. So here we will be doing a sync parameter for using the maximum availability. So we will be changing the parameter over there. So we will be getting a maximum availability over there. And then we have the maximum protection. So maximum protection ensures that no data loss will occur even if the primary database fails. So here the redo data needed to recover the transaction must be returned to both the online and the standby redo logs on at least one of the standby databases before the transaction commences. So this ensures that there is no data loss at all, because whatever transactions you have done in your primary, it goes to your standby and it's written over there. So here the maximum protection, you don't have a data loss.
Okay.
Okay. If you have any further questions, you can always ping me. I will be available on my email address is dinesh.nadar@wipro.com.
Yeah, another question I have that while doing that on standby, you have converted into primary. You have switched over to primary. Okay, but that standby was in read-only mode. That is it possible to convert that standby from read-only mode to directly in primary?
Yes, it is. Because anyways, the standby is always in, a mounted state. So here it was read-only, so we could convert it.
Okay.
Thank you, Rajkiran.
Yeah, thank you.
Venu, your line is unmuted. You can go ahead with your question.
Dinesh?
Yeah, tell me.
Initially, the first, the mandate is that we need to keep the database into force logging, right?
Sorry, I'm not able to hear your voice very clearly. Yeah, tell me.
So we are going to keep the database in force logging mode, right?
Yeah, right. We are keeping it in force logging.
So what is the purpose of keeping the database in force logging mode?
See, if you're not keeping the database in force logging, what happens is sometimes when there is a bulk insert or bulk upload to a table, we tend to use the no logging clause, right? Sometimes we use the no logging clause. So when we are using the no logging clause over here, the logs are not generated. So this is not good for a standby database, because if you don't have the log, the redo log generated for that particular insert, you don't have the data written for that insert or upload to the table, right? So when we do a force logging, even if you use a no logging clause while doing a bulk insert or bulk upload, your redo will be generated. Regardless of what the user tells, the database will be generating the logs for that.
Okay. Can you share us the PPT which you have prepared?
Yeah, sure. I will be sharing the PPT as well as I have the documents with me which has all the steps which I have gone through. I can also share the parameter files and the listener and the PNS ORA files with you all.
Sure. Can I send an email to you, or you will? Can I
Yeah,
send
you
an
can
email?
ping me. You can ping me on dinesh.nadar@wipro.com.
Yeah, sure.
I'll send back the documents to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Venu.
Okay.
Participant, your line is unmuted. Announce your name and go ahead with your question.
Hi Dinesh, this is Rajesh here. You're able to hear me?
Yeah, hi Rajesh, tell me. Yeah, I can hear you.
Dinesh, which is the background process that is shipping the logs from primary to standby?
You mean the background process? Not very sure, but I can tell you about the MRP which is doing the redo log apply on the standby database.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
No. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Yeah, thank you.
Participant, your line is unmuted. Please announce your name and go ahead with your question.
Hi, Dinesh.
Yeah, hi.
This is Malla Reddy. Actually,
yes, Malla Reddy.
Yeah, I have production database. Can I build my request standby without downtime? Without downtime,
yes, you can.
production database.
Yes, you can see. Now, the duplicate command which I used, I did not bring the primary database down. It was up and running.
Okay. Is there any additional license required for this?
See, for Oracle data, we need an enterprise license only. We cannot do with any other licensing. We don't have this feature in the standard edition and all. We need an enterprise edition for configuring the Dataguard. We also have another concept which is active Dataguard. There is a separate licensing for that as well. So we need an enterprise edition for configuring Dataguard.
Okay. And also you said...
Sorry?
File client is not required, you said. It's not required?
Yeah. The file client is deprecated now. Even if I write a file client and start up the database, I will be getting an error saying that it's a deprecated parameter. So that parameter won't be used when I start the database using the parameter file.
Okay.
Thank you, participant.
Okay.
Participant, your line is unmuted. Announce your name and go ahead with your question.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Dinesh?
Yes, tell me.
Dinesh, this is Sabrish here.
Yes, Sabrish, tell me.
Dinesh, one question is, when you do switchover, if any application if it's already connected to the production databases, so during switchover, what will happen to the existing connection?
The connection to the primary database should come down because when you're doing a switchover, you're shutting down the sessions as well. So there will be a small downtime and break in the connection over there. But if you have this Dataguard configured with the host names and all those stuff, we create the aliases for the standby also, right? So when we add the nodes to the application, probably there will be a small pause and of course I think it will be disconnected from the session. The application has to rejoin the session.
Oh, okay. And so there will be a slight connectivity problem may arise. Okay.
Yeah, because here we are doing a session shutdown, so it should get disconnected.
Fine. And one more thing is, From production, you have given duplicate target database from standby command.
Yeah.
With that, did you provided any from active database command? Did you provide it?
No, I did not provide it. See, when you're connecting to your target database, it is the active database. So you have to give the command duplicate target database for standby database from active database. If you don't give from active database, it won't work.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
you are duplicating for standby from the active database. So you have to give that keyword over there.
Fine. Okay. Yeah, that's all. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sabrish.
Yeah.
This will be the final announcement. Participants who would like to ask questions, please press #12 now. At this moment, there are no further questions from the participants. I would like to hand over the floor back to Dinesh for final remarks.
Okay. Thank you everyone for attending this session, and I think I was a little bit slow in configuring the Dataguard, so I could not cover the last topic, which was failover. I'll definitely come up with the failover part when I next time come up with the Dataguard broker. So thank you. That's all from my side, and I can share the PPTs, I can share the documents, and I can share the exact line-to-line configuration which you need to do to bring up a Oracle Dataguard scenario. I can share it with you all guys. Jacqueline, is there a way I can get this email address for all those participants who have joined?
Yes, Dinesh, we will be sending you attendee list along with the recordings.
Okay, no problem. So participants, I'll be sending you the documents which you need. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for choosing Cisco Meeting, please. That concludes this conference call. Thank you all for your participation. Have a wonderful evening.